Good day, everybody. Welcome back to the Marvel Contest of Champions news show.
Kabam taking L with the handling of the summoner market and deals as players have issues making purchases around the fun in the sun. Massive warning for those that hoard elder marks, as you may hit limits that you may not have known about before. Kabam give their final say on those who have issues logging into the game, and Fun in the Sun deals have created a monopoly in game, forcing the hand of grind habits in the future for free to play. We have a look into that. Yes, hello everybody, happy Monday and hope you're doing well. Welcome to the MCN for Monday. Do make sure to hit the like button and subscribe with post notifications on all, especially as by the end of the year, hopefully we can get to 70,000 subscribers. That would be nice, but of course, subscribe to the channel. It is free, and put notifications on so you get to know about when there's MCOC news. Also guides when it comes to the side quest, because this week we'll have information about what's dropping for July, new content. So we quickly begin with this. If you remember back along, there was a serious issue for players when they were completely unable to get into the game. There was some sort of like weird issue with the login, and this was something that was Kabam said they resolved by different means, and there's a bit of a discrepancy as to some of these players saying they use the official Google Play and iOS iTunes kind of stores and side loading the game, where you've gone to I don't know, like a website and you've kind of like uploaded the app as an APK, something to those. I'm not saying exactly like that, but what I'm saying is they've not done it through the original and official channels on stuff, but you know, that's just down to like you know, different perspectives on things. And Kabam have kind of like reached a point of, well, they've said their piece on this one, and this is the reason that they've kind of answered in this way to this subject. So if you're affected by this, then this is the final kind of you know, swipe by Kabam on stuff. So we provide a final update on this. Previously, we found that players who were encountering this issue were side loading the game. In other words, they were downloading it from unofficial sources outside of Google Play Store. MCOC on Android is too big to be entirely packaged in the original download, therefore it relies on Google Play Store to update specific information. If the app isn't from the source, it does not have access to that information. I recall someone posting unofficial workarounds in the original thread I know you're part of. I suggest to seek that information, so it kind of gives an idea. There's nothing more really to go on this one, but look, if you can go the official route, go the official route. You might have to figure out a different way to access the game. And do bear in mind to do that. Try not to use third-party stuff, because we've seen in the past Kabam have banned that. It's affected people. People have lost accounts. They've been banned. Yeah, all this stuff is an issue. But yeah, sorry to hear that for people that may be still affected by this, but I'm sure people have resolved it by now. Now we move on to a little bit of an interesting story and a little bit of a forewarning to people, and that's hoarding elder marks. Depending on when you try and get access, I'm sure people will say, well, I've already spending my elder marks, and other people may not. It depends on your strategy of how you approach battlegrounds. For me personally, I have not had any foreseeable time. I've spent a lot this weekend preparing stuff for when we're selling the house, so I've been sorting out my loft or attic, and that's taken up a lot of my time. Otherwise I will be doing battlegrounds, so I've planned in next week to grind. Get to the point, Richard. Yes, indeed, the point is that I am sitting on a good healthy amount of elder marks, and as you can see by Justin's post right here, that he has 9,000 elder marks. This is in fact the max that you can get, especially with, like, as you can see here, the max is 9,000 you could hold. Did you know that? Did you know that? You may not have known that. But look, it's a very important thing to notice on this one, and yeah, it may even be worth, as New King says, it may be worth kind of like, you know, having a chance at a ticket, doing a ticket with Kabam. It may then, those elder marks could go into your stash. I don't know. It definitely would be nice if that was the case, and allow players to kind of get involved with that, because you may not want to get involved with battlegrounds at the moment. People may be waiting. It may be a case that with a rush of the first 2 weeks, with a lot of people and a lot of hefty accounts go up ahead, then you may be best to kind of like, you know, just kind of make your gradual kind of progression, especially as a lot of people are going to get involved with battlegrounds, and there's somewhat of a monopoly, which we're going to talk about in the final story of today before arena predictions, about how, you know, Fun in the Sun deals, which have been great and maybe great for free to play, but also there's going to be others that may have felt that they needed more units in order to remain competitive with the ecosystem that is the game economy. But back to the point of the Elder Marks, and yes, that's something that's kind of like maybe a bit of a surprise to you. Look, 9,000 is the max that you can only hold of Elder Marks before they kind of like go into the abyss, not of Legends. But very annoying, isn't it? Now onto the fiasco, which was the Summoner Market. Look, let's face it, a lot of us were, including myself, having high hopes about the fun in the sun. Essentially July 4th deals, but they're not called July 4th deals. I even saw like something on Reddit where someone was like, oh, should I hold up for the July 4th deals? These are the July 4th deals, by the way, if you don't already. Kabam have made these now weekly because it means it's more of an opportunity to purchase rather than being specific over a weekend, because sometimes payday isn't around that particular time. But in any case, we had high hopes, I think, for fun in the sun, and especially these particular deals. These deals, again, were interesting and people were going to the website in order to buy, but there's some weird stuff that happened with it. And yeah, interesting, because Kabam Jacks had to kind of like let everybody know about this. Please, please, please read the offer you are purchasing from the web store. We have seen many tickets from summoners to purchase unit packages from progression levels below their own. Remember to double check the purchase you are making it to be sure it aligns with what you are intending to buy before you confirm. To be honest, I think this is a fiasco. It's a bit of an L for Kabam, and I'll explain as to why. So when you go into game at the moment, and you'll go along, for those that obviously spend within the game, you'll go, okay, right, well I can see a Thronebreaker deal, Cavalier deal, and then you'll go across and go, right, okay, I'm a Paragon player, I have all of them are Paragon deals. There's no Thronebreaker based deals for any of the, you know, the items. Like there's not a limit for All Fathers, Odin, Vault saying, Thronebreaker, because I'm a Paragon. It auto selects the Paragon. I find this very weird because if you go to the store, you've then got deals for Paragon. Okay, yeah, that's my progression. Then there's Thronebreaker. Then there's Grandmaster. Well, that's not what's represented in game. So Ninehaven says, I have logged onto my account in the Summoner Market, but when I tried to purchase the Grandmaster version bundles, it does not redirect me to the payment screen. It does not do anything. Can you please help? So there looks to be some, like, I think some user like related issues with it. I'm sure a lot of people will think twice than buying the in-game stuff, because $199, which is what I've got mine there as, if you were going to spend, is a lot of money. It's a hell of a lot of money. People are buying. So I can either say they've gone through the web store or they've gone through the in-game, which again, I don't know. I don't know, you know, how people are buying. But yeah, it looks like there's a lot of issues. A lot of issues. The game team is working with Xsolar right now to investigate why some of you are unable to purchase Fun in the Sun packages from the Summoner Market. We're hoping to have more information soon. We'll provide more updates when we do. So this looks like there's a lot of kind of like there's a lot of kind of interaction-based issues. Same issue here. I'm unable to purchase the new bundles, only the old bundles, which I don't want. If this isn't resolved soon, I'm going to have to cancel this purchase, as it's probably a sign not to waste money on the game. Perhaps I should buy Apple stock instead more profit in the long term. Well, that's down to a personal preference, isn't it? The furthest update was yesterday. It appears our game team was able to work with Xsolar to find a fix to the issue some were facing where they were unable to purchase Fun in the Sun deals. Specifically, my understanding is we've seen a couple of summoners confirm that this issue is resolved. So whatever Xsolar is, it's probably some like purchase thing, but could have been specific. It's just a case of like, it was a bit of a, this whole situation was a bit of not a bit of a farce, but just a bit of a weird to do, really. Of course, a lot of people that were really interested in spending. You know, again, that's down to a personal preference. It is something that we're going to talk about in a moment. But yeah, a lot of people had problems with this store, which was, you know, very much in its infancy. And a lot of people were doing tickets on this particular stuff. And Kabam ended up having to like refund a lot of people or kind of sort them out with the correct stuff. As Kabam Jack says, if you have erroneously purchased the wrong package, please do the following. Do not spend any of the resources you received, which may be a little bit too late, it depends, from the wrong package. File a support ticket. I know it can be hard to be patient, but the support team has been refunding many in this situation. So it does feel like it's a bit of a massive L on part of Kabam of what they set up, because look, at the end of the day, this may be a benefit for Kabam as developer, but at the same time they've got to make sure that these teething problems are dealt with. And as I said, I cannot fathom for the life of me as to when you log into this particular store on there that it has deals that are not applicable to you and your progression. Like, why is that a thing? If you're logging in via your account, your Kabam account, then surely it should recognize where you're at the game as to like, well, right, so they've got Paragon. Instead, it offers all of the previous titleage deals for you to get. So Paragon, Thronebreaker, Cavalier, level, not complete. Obviously, I'm not saying it's like that, but you know what I mean. Like, I don't want to get I don't want a Grandmaster version of it. What's the point of getting that? Like, that's not where I'm at the moment. So yeah, it's just very weird. But in any case, did you buy anything? Put it in the comment section down below, or did you focus mainly on some of the unit deals? Let's move on and talk about one of the big topics from all of this, and that is the monopoly that is Marvel Contest of Champions. These July 4th deals, Fun in the Sun deals, whatever you want to call it, it presents a big issue because now we have just seen a big gap increase, and some people have asked for this kind of like topic to be covered in a video, which I am going to be covering, but it needs a lot of research to it, especially because in this last 24 hours, or not 24 hours, but between the 24 hours of the deals going live and Saturday morning, my account, which was a kind of a mid-level like Paragon account, and that's an account that has done most content. Funny enough, if I do Act 8.2.6, so because I'm still got to do Act 8.2, which I am working on at the moment, but if I was to even do a completion of that, I get my next rank 5 6-star. So I've got 2. I've done Eternity of Pain. I have done most content that would garnish any kind of like meta type rewards. I've got 2 more paths to do with another 5 with my 5th 7-star, which is good because then it means that I'll, that again, so 5 7-stars. I haven't spent on the game since December 2021, but the problem is my Paragon average level account went from, like an average Paragon to a very low Paragon in the space of those 24 hours. Now, is it down to me to farm 36,000 units? Apparently so. That's on me. That's my fault that I shouldn't have spent. I should spend less time doing stuff IRL and doing more time when it comes to farming units. Maybe doing more battlegrounds, of course. But again, that's more stuff I have to do within the time within game, and that's tough. There's reasons that people step back, and the reason that I don't excessively grind as I used to is that I want to enjoy the game, but I don't want to feel forced to farm and grind all the time because I want to get that enjoyment from the game. I want to have enjoyment from my life. I want the things to have a nice eco balance to them. I also want to play other video games and also work and make YouTube videos. So it's nice to have like a balance, but you've got to be real on this situation, and there's reasons that the likes of Brian Grant have stepped back from excessive competitive based work, is that it becomes such a stress to kind of take a free-to-play account up to the high ends, and people have now gone, I'm talking like 15 plus 16 17 rank 5 champions, like it's between 10, whatever you've got. People are in double digits now with rank 5 6-star champions. And look, how you've got there, if you spent to get there, hey, you spent to get there. If you've and you've got this kind of really stonking roster, but at this particular point and at that particular point, you have to say, well, how does this get fairly worked around when it comes to Kabam? Because this is the thing, Kabam have to look at this situation and go, right, well, how do we make this fair? Because effectively we've created a monster. Kabam have created a monster when it comes to whales. Yes, it's great that this financially helps the game sustain, and I'm not knocking that. I don't think anybody's knocking that at all. But this is on Kabam to make a fair competitive ecosystem for the likes of my very low, now very low Paragon level account. And I don't think it's ridiculously low, but it is low. It's low because I don't have more than 2 rank 5 6-stars. I'm doing content, like I'm doing everything that needs to be done, but I'm not getting a load of rank 5s. The same thing is I don't have any rank 2 6-star, rank 2 7-stars, and from non-spending means I have now got 4 dupe one duped 7-star and 3 other kind of true 7-stars. So fingers crossed for my 5th, and I can do my other lane of the shooting star quest. But then after that particular point, I'm like, right, well, as soon as I've done that, it's then wait for Act 8.3. The Everest content, again, I don't know if I could do, because I'll need the units to then be saving up more units in order to do Cyber Weekend deals in order to take my roster further. It's a bit of a tough one. It's a really tough one at the moment. This weekend sets a crazy precedence for free to play for future things at Cyber Weekend. Do you now hoard more units, with 36,000 units being the potential option in order to unlock more? And even then, the issue would be that how would I need to get all of the deals. Yeah, the solo event doesn't necessarily it gives special champions, which is good. There's some really kind of decent options for defense, like Jessica Jones or Weapon X, and that's fantastic. But at the same time, it's not necessarily needed. It's kind of like an added extra. But again, however, there is these things within these deals that you can buy multiple times and also get multiple good things from that, like the tier 6 class catalyst, maybe the 7-stars, and rank 3 to 4 gems. Maybe all this stuff is going to be really super essential, but it's tough for free to play. It's really tough. So thoughts in the comment section. How do you feel about how the ecosystem is at the moment? Maybe I'll do a community tab and look at this again in a little while, like another video. But yes. And we end the MCN as we normally do on arena results and predictions. We haven't got much in the way for Hood except for 24 mil, got position 190. Lady Deathstrike, lots of info. There is talk about bots, modders, cheaters within the arenas again. This is something I did touch upon last week. I'll try and look more into it in like a bit of a deep dive type thing. But there is a bit of a difference in that Lady Deathstrike, it's that 121 mil for position 401, 130 mil for position 321. Like, what are we looking at here? This is just getting a bit silly now. It's now starting to kind of creep up. And as more arenas come out over the next week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, month, we'll get an idea like how much it's kind of like, has it crept back in again for arena botters, modders, and cheaters. But in any case, unfortunately and sadly, we've got to do predictions for round 2. I'm going with 130 mil because of the inflation that was put on the first round. 32 mil for the 5-star. I think that's just a case of like probably where it will chart. 22 mil for Hood, that's probably a given, probably a little bit less than that. 12 mil, probably a little bit less for the 5-star version, but we didn't have enough data to kind of present for this. But that has been it. That's the results and the predictions for round 2. Good luck in the round 2 and be cautious. In any case, thanks very much. Check out some other content. Oh, and thanks very much to those who support the channel as a YouTube member and as a patron who are on screen right at the moment. Also, there's a support of twitch.tv/RichTheMan live. If you've got an Amazon Prime account, give a free Twitch sub, hit the button and do that. Support the channel. That'd be very kind of you. And finally, yes, check out some other content located on the screen, and I'll see you all later on for another video, whenever that will be. Probably deep dive into this malarkey about Monopoly in my MCOC. But in any case, cheers everybody. Bye-bye.